So thank you very much for inviting me, Roman. I'm the DMPOnline Customer Relationship Manager, Customer Development at the Digital Curation Centre at the University of Edinburgh. DMPOnline is a data management, a tool for creating data management plans, and it is provided by the Digital Curation Centre. So thank you very much for inviting me. I'm going to try and give you a shorter presentation to leave time for a break. Okay, so very quickly about DMPOnline. As I said, it's a data management planning service. Essentially, it provides researchers with a tool to create data management plans. I hope by the time I give you the presentation as well of how the tool is used, you will agree that it's, as far as researchers are concerned, at least it's a very easy to use tool. DMPOnline is based on open source software that we are developing in collaboration with our team from California Digital Library. Their tool is called DMP tool, and we're often confused. So ours is DMPOnline, theirs is DMP tool, but the source code is the same, and we each customize it according to our needs. It is a free tool, so end users, any researcher can come in and use it, and the code is available, it's open source code available to all institutions. We have a subscription service for institutions. In other words, we manage it and customize it for them, but other institutions have chosen to take the source code and implement it themselves and customize it for themselves. So whichever way you want to use it. I'm going to give you a brief history. So we started in 2010. And the tool was developed with funding from the Joint Infrastructure Studies Committee, JISC, in the UK. Then European Commission contributed, and University of Edinburgh, a variety of sources. The tool was developed as a requirement from research councils, research funders, I should say, started demanding that people who are applying for research grants should make some data management plans, but there was no common standard, no agreed standard. They most certainly didn't provide a tool. They asked for a data management plan from researchers, but no tools were available or no standards were established. Then we continued developing the tool, and in around 2015, we started talking, a bit earlier in fact, we started talking to the California Digital Library team, the DMP tool team, about perhaps working together because we were providing a tool that was very similar. And I think since March 2015, I think, I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately, we started running on a common code base. In 2016, people started joining. For example, DMP Melbourne in Australia downloaded the code base. We are managing it for them. We are storing it and managing for them. As I said, there are a variety of models out there. But they do have the technical expertise to customize it for themselves. DMP Tuuli in Finland, they chose a different model. I think it's the University of Finland that manages, we manage the tool for them. The University in Finland stores it and actually launched a national service. So it manages it for all, manages a subscription model for all universities in Finland. Subscriptions, we have a variety of subscription models. It's mostly 1-year contracts and 3-year contracts. We have a basic versus enhanced module. I think most universities have chosen the enhanced model because it provides a little bit more, including customized looks, and it seems to be appealing. I'll show you at the end roughly what a customized look is like. And we currently have 67, I would say there are 2 more coming along, 67, 68 subscribe institutions, and more are coming all the time. I think there are over 60,000 users and growing all the time. We're now looking for to appoint 2 more developers. It's very difficult to find developers out there, but the team is growing all the time. As I said, I started saying earlier, we have over 60,000 registered users, over 83 countries. The code roadmap, yes, we have a subscription model, but the DMP roadmap code is still open source, and anybody can log in and use it, whether their organization is subscribed or not. So I think researchers are often starting, if you like, just testing the tool, testing the waters to see what the tool is like. But it is driven, as I said, largely by funders insisting that you provide a data management plan, and we have asked funders to log in and create their own templates. It's funders that manage their own data management plan templates. And in fact, one of the first funders to subscribe is the Dutch Research Council, because they are operating a somewhat different model. In the UK, for example, funders create their own templates, and then institutions take them and customize them a little. The Dutch Research Council and universities in the Netherlands have gone somewhat differently. The institutions take the funder template, customize it a little, then they ask for approval from the Dutch Research Council. Do you like this? And then they publish their own separate template on their own instance of DMPOnline. So we'll see how that develops in time. Okay, so features for users, as I said, is free to use. There are a variety of institutions and funded templates and guidance that they can choose from. There is collaborative editing. You can share your plan with anybody. This is somewhat different from contributors. I'll show you later, but you can share your plans with people who can just log in the system and edit it if you're giving them editing rights, or just read it. After you finish your plan, you can export it in a variety of formats and add it to your research grant application. And we also have features like single sign-on, so you can sign on with your institutional credentials. Features for institutional administrators, these are the people who look after the institutional instance of DMPOnline. You can add institutional templates, you can customize guidance, you can take funder templates and customize them, even add new questions to them, although funders are not particularly keen on that. But you can add guidance you can certainly add guidance on the template. For some institutions, you can, for most institutions, you can look at usage statistics. There is also the opportunity to provide users with feedback. So users complete their plan, send it to you for feedback, you can comment and send it back. And institutions with enhanced customization also have APIs. I'll tell you in a minute what those are about. Enhanced subscribers also get customized branding and URLs. So they can get the tool and apply institutional colors, add, you know, a header, a banner with more contact details, their own logos, and of course register a URL based on their own institutional URL. Okay. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. I'll slow down a bit. I was just feeling that perhaps I should give you time for a break. If you don't understand, feel free to say, Diana, slow down a bit. Right, I was going to give you a presentation at this stage, sorry, a demo of the tool at this stage, but we exercised a little, and I'm just worried that I might cut myself out with the F11 key. So I'll finish the presentation, and then give you a demonstration of the tool at the end. I just wanted to say that there are guides and tutorials online for both ordinary users, researchers, and administrators. And I've inserted them here. I can give the send you the presentation at the end, and you can put these, make these links available to people. So our YouTube channels has a variety of playlists. Some are for, you know, marked specifically for researchers. Others are for administrators. They just talk you very short videos that take you quickly through how to do things. How to customize a template, how to create a plan, how to register, even how to register. And there's also a wiki page with more detailed information about for administrative users, for example, how to set up an API. As I said, you have this information at the end. Of course, the big drive is for machine actionable. And we are integrated with a variety of systems, the research organization registry, so that you can select, we can add organizations in the background, people can select them. At the moment, there are some restrictions on this for DMPOnline, but for the wider DMP roadmap code, it works with ROR. ORCID, users can add a link to their ORCID profile. There are European Commission grant numbers available via the OpenAir Grants API. And the RDA metadata standards directory, again, the APIs can provide information on that. And upcoming integrations is, I've listed a few here, although we're planning to do more. So we have FAIR sharing in particular, because we've been very involved in the FAIR projects as part of Horizon 2020. Of course, we're keen to implement anything to do with FAIR data. At the moment, we're a bit short of development efforts, and it will take some time to implement these, but we hope to have them, if not by the end of this year, certainly early next year. Okay, development process. We always work with our users. Last year, we also did a usability test. We employed a summer student, summer intern, who went and interviewed existing users, both ordinary, researchers and administrative users. We always seek views and input from our users. Users' input is also provided by the subscribers, and I think this has been an invaluable source of information for us on how to develop our tool. And every time we develop an implementation and customization, some new requests are coming, and many do end up in the mainstream code because there are such good suggestions. So I think the subscription model has been really good for development. So as I said, as you can see, I've put on the list here part of new contracts, customer requests, and through there are several teams. There's the CDL team, California Digital Library. There's the CDL team. They have their own user base coming with their own requests. So the international collaboration is really good. And we've recently been joined by the Canadian team as well from Portage. Another set of users are, for example, the first subscriber, the first funder to subscribe, the Dutch Research Council, has now come with a variety of requests, including a new workflow for publishing templates. As I said, they want a somewhat different model. They want to first approve the template before the institutions publish it, make it available to the researchers. So this is fairly recent. So let's see what comes out of that. But if they come with a new workflow, we may implement it across the board. Remains to be seen. Okay, so the code is available. You can see the URL here. We'll make this presentation slides available, and hopefully you get to inspect the code a little. Okay, so here I thought I would mention the two routine APIs that people mostly use, version 0 and version 1. They're both mapped to machine actionable data management standard. So the first API is designed to extract information on all plans, including answers to questions. The second API uses MA-DMP standard to communicate metadata about projects, so it extracts information about metadata. They've both been invaluable. We found that administrators want to make use of this all the time. We have basic usage statistics in the tool, but excuse me, administrators want as much data as they can get out of the tool to analyze usage. Not just usage, but also the quality of the data that is being put into the tool, the quality of the answers. Okay, and as you know, the Research Data Alliance has a data management plans interest group, and we've been very, very active in that. We need to get involved to keep abreast of any developments in there so that we can put them in the DMPOnline tool. I'm just going to very quickly go through acknowledgements. So the current DMPOnline is Patricia Herterich. She was the project manager, the overall project manager. Magdalena, who's now on maternity leave, and I've taken over her role briefly, and our developers, Ray, Marta, and Glenys, and we are looking to employ another 2 developers. It's very difficult to find developers with Ruby on Rails skills, and it's very difficult at the moment to find developers in general. They seem to be at a premium since everything has gone virtual and digital. The DMP roadmap teams at the California Digital Library, and they are working on DMP tool, Maria and Brian. And we've been recently joined by the Portage team, DMP assistant from Canada. They joined, well, they've been started working on an implementation on a version of DMPOnline, but I think it's last year they pushed it out a lot, and they have a bilingual service in both French and English. And the previous DMPOnline product managers, Martin Donnelly and Sarah Jones. Sarah's gone to the Netherlands at Géant, and Martin is working in a different field altogether. Okay, so here are our contact details. You can find us online, and you can subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on Twitter. What I'm going to do now is to switch to give you a quick demonstration. We should have time, it's 9:23. So this is the if you want, I could log out for a moment so that you can see the actual homepage and what it looks like. You're probably familiar with the page. The reason why I insisted on taking you to the homepage so that I can show you that how to create an account. I'm not going to create an account. It's fairly straightforward, I hope. But I just wanted to say that we insist that people create an account on DMPOnline, their own personal account, because naturally you move between institutions, and you edit your profile to update your institution, and you also change you keep your plans with you, but you also change the single sign-on credentials. And I'll show you what I mean by here you can sign in with your institutional credentials. And to do this, I'm not going to do that, but to do this, you click sign in with your institutional credentials. So say I'm going to go to Edinburgh, I'm going to start typing, and I can select University of Edinburgh and continue and get myself to the University of Edinburgh sign-in page. And you can always change this at any given time. Okay, next time you want to sign in with your institutional credentials, you can choose to disconnect yourself from a particular university and add another. I'm going to try not to do this because I wanted to sign in with an ordinary account rather than with University of Edinburgh, which is where I have my super admin account, and I need to show you a simpler a university administrator account rather than my super admin account that I have for the University of Edinburgh. Anyhow, so what you can see, this is my dashboard. I've got two plans here at the very top. I can't see it, but you should see at the very top the dashboard. You should see create new plan. You can also see that you can choose a different language. At the moment, these are available, but I know that there are more translations. Certainly the Finns have their own translations, but we've put the most commonly used ones here for people to use. You can edit your profile and assign yourself to whatever institution you want. I'm assigned myself to the institution, to the Digital Curation Center, so that I don't show you University of Edinburgh data. You can have password, you can set yourself up with API access. I haven't set myself up with anything at the moment. And manage your notification preferences. So this is what you do as a user. Let's see if I can get myself back to my dashboard. Okay, that's going to go. Plans. This is where I see university. So I can now create a plan. I'm going to show you very quickly how to create a plan. It's very simple. What research project are you planning? I can say it's a mock project for testing and practice, and I can call it testing. Select the primary research organization. I'll keep the one I have. And I'm going to select, I don't know, I'm going to start typing European. As you can see, there are lots of there are lots of funders appearing, but I'm going to go for a European Research Council, ERC, or I can select no funder associated with this plan, although our users have told us that they don't particularly like that phrase, sounds a bit scary, and ideally they would want us to change. For example, some of them have said that even if they have no funder associated with the plan, they may want to use the even if they have a funder associated with the plan, they may still want to use the digital curation or their institution's basic template. So we may have to change that wording. So you see, this is the kind of input we get from researchers and administrators. So I'm going to create a new plan. I can add any wording here for a project abstract, a short description, project standard. So, sorry. Okay, you get a basic calendar. Is going to be start today. Okay, I'm going to finish it tomorrow. An ID you typically get. Normally, you can type in, start typing in, but you know, or you get assigned an ID. I don't have a European Commission grant, because if you start typing an ID, typically at the moment, because we're linked to European research grants, you can get your own grant ID placed in there. So funding status, I'm going to say planned, is not funded, and a grant number URL. Once you have it, you can add it. So I'm going to say save. I can add myself a series of contributors, add a contributor. It could be, I can add myself with another ID and the ORCID number. But I'm not going to add contributors here, because, you know, I can just end up creating more plans to my other ID. And I already have quite a few, as you saw. And this one is a plan overview. This gives an idea of what is in the project, an overview of the template and what the ERC, European Research Council template is going to ask me for. So I can now start a writing plan and just start answering questions. Project acronym is going to be ABC. I can add comments to share with my collaborators. Then I can add project number and just keep going through the various questions and answer them, you know, as and when I see fit. I have guidance available here, guidance provided by both my institution and ERC, the funding council. I can switch and I find information about data volume, data format. This has been provided by the Digital Curation Center. ERC, what have they said? This should include a data set reference, so they have a smaller amount of information. The comments, these are either comments for me to share with collaborators, and sometimes can be comments sent by institutions. So I send my plan for feedback, and the administrator at the institution says, I think you should give more information on this, please. This is incomplete, and so on. So it can be operated like that. I can now share the plan with somebody. I can invite people who are on the system or people who are not on the system. The last person I type is Glenys, but I'm not going to take her by surprise. I can make them a co-owner. I can make them an editor. I can provide them read-only. I can make this person a co-owner and submit. That's it. So it's me. In the end, I added myself. At the end, I can download it in a variety of formats, as you can see, and add it to my grant. I can see the plan overview. and come back to the plan later and write some more. Fair data and resources. So the next session, making data findable, making data, typically pretty much all research funders ask for the same information. What data you collect, where are you going to store it, how are you going to share it, and ethical issues. It's roughly the same information that you get from all grants. The European Horizon 2020 grant has several phases. You don't just have one phase here, you have several. They ask for a plan before you submit the plan that you submit with your grant application, then you write another plan when you get your grant, and another plan at the end. So there are plans with several phases like that. Okay, what else? So very quickly, as you can see, I've got an admin menu here. This is what users with administrative rights view. So each university will have, on average, 2 or 3, depends on size, people that act as research data managers and typically review data management plans created by their researchers. Another thing, so for example, they can see all of their plans. So these are plans at the Digital Curation Center and who wrote them. And as you can see, I've written quite a few test plans here. They can see their templates. We have DCC template and, you know, I'm going to choose the next one. And if I want, I can edit it, view the history of it. You can publish and unpublish, so you can create a template and leave it unpublished for a bit until it's reviewed by several people and then published it. As you can see, this one is unpublished at the moment. We haven't made it available. The DCC template is the default template that many people get when they don't have an institution, they don't want to choose their template, the institution template, and they don't want to choose a funder template. This is the one that comes, a very simple template. And I can, you know, download it to look at it in a document, whatever, as an institution. I can also create a template. I'm not going to create another template, but as you can see, it's a simple to use as a plan. You add a title. Must remember to remove it. A brief description. Okay, it's unpublished. I'm going to save it. And you start by adding what is called a new phase. As most templates have one phase, it's the plan, a very simple plan that people use, researchers at their institutions use. Other templates create several phases. As I said, some European Commission grants have a phase for grant application stage and a phase for when you finish your project. You may have changed your mind about where you're going to store the data. You may got a lot more data than okay. You can choose your order of display, and that's it. And I can add a new section. I can add a new section. Call it. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I hope you agree that it's relatively easy to use, and you can create as many questions and phases as you like. Although the recommendation is to keep it as simple as possible, because we find that universities are having not a tough time, but it's creating the culture of actually, please fill in your template, please produce a data management plan for researchers. Building it into workflows is still in the process of being implemented really. There are some universities that have very, very solid working practices. Other universities find it a bit more difficult to get their researchers to fill in template, which is why it's simpler. It's better to keep your templates simple. So I'm gonna, okay, let's see what's happened with the view templates. Yeah, test templates, and I'm going to go and remove it. Yeah, that's it. So we have the published template that many people have used, and we have this unpublished one, which we often use for demonstrations. Guidance is the guidance that appears at the side of templates that I showed you earlier, that researchers read when they fill in a plan. You can create you know, a guidance group, for example, like let's call it, or you have a guidance group on ethics, and under that guidance group, you can add various bits of guidance that you see here. And you can, like with templates, you can have them unpublished, remove, you can edit them. But I'm not going to create guidance now. It's the same process as creating a template or creating a plan. You can edit your organization details. So you can add a help desk email so that when people submit requests for feedback, they come to the help desk. You can add contacts for administrators. And there's also a Google Analytics tracker facility. So if you have organizational URL, DMPOnline URL, and you're interested in knowing how many people look usage of your customized DMPOnline website, you can enter the URL here, and you can keep track of usage. There are other user statistics, and they are, okay, I've got 3 more minutes. And as you can see, you've got number of users joined last year, plans created, and you can download these figures. You can change the period. At the moment, it's for 1 year, but we can extend it. But why would you want from the beginning? I don't know, but we've been asked for that. So we have now to work on providing people with statistics from when they started. And you can download it. Here you can see codes for templates and how many people use the templates and what template in April 2022. You know, how many plans are created based on what templates. So in our case, the DCC template is very popular. Of course, the number of users is very low here because it's just us. For Digital Curation Center, really, it's mostly us. The University of Edinburgh will obviously have more, but I can't show you their data. And very quickly, what you can see is users. You can search through all your users. Say you want to search somebody, that's me. You can see me with 2 different accounts. You can search and only show admins rather than all users, or let's see if I can only see the admins. Yeah, so you can do a variety of things with your users. Let me see. I don't have the privileges here. I'm logged in as an organizational admin, but if I was a super admin, I would get a list of users, and what I would do is edit them to make them, to change their privileges. That's roughly it. What you can do. Unfortunately, I haven't installed the APIs for myself because I could show you what kind of data you download via the APIs. As I said, people make a lot of use out of that. And it seems that I've reached Q2, and you now would like to take some questions.